What's up, everybody on YouTube? This is your girl Jillian coming to you with another daily dose of OJ. So I wanted to talk about the incident that happened at the Holocaust Museum in DC with the Von Braun guy that came in with the rifle or whatever kind of gun he had and shot the security guard, and probably would have done more damage had it not been for the gentleman that that really stopped him from getting as far as he even got. So, you know, props to security at the museum. And I know a gentleman died, and, you know, I hope that his family is doing well, and my prayers are with his family, because that's a tough loss. But I appreciate people like that put their life on the line for other people. I basically want to talk about the fact that I feel like this incident has not been getting appropriate coverage. Basically, it's domestic terrorism, and I've been watching a lot of CNN and MSNBC, and I agree with people like Keith Olbermann and Rachel Maddow that basically been saying that, you know, had this been someone else, let's just say of a Middle Eastern descent with the last name Mohammed, DC probably would have been shut down. There's no doubt in my mind. And I just think that a lot of people think that there's not any racism going on in the world, that, oh, you know, just because Barack Obama got in, there's no racism. There's no more racism, and we haven't had racism problems since slavery. A lot of people, I think, really genuinely believe that. And, you know, this whole incident in itself shows that, you know, racism, of course, is still existent. I know that I have a lot of friends that think that, you know, oh, it's not fair that, you know, black people get scholarships for being, quote unquote, get my quotes right, quote unquote, black. You know, oh, it's not fair that, you know, black people get such and such benefits because they're black. So here's my response to it. In terms of black people getting scholarships because they're black, those scholarships that you get, diversity scholarships, whatever they're called at different universities, are giving to not just black people, but any sort of people with an ethnic background. The reason why people receive these scholarships is to raise up the ethnic populations at different collegiate institutions. That's the whole point of it. White people just as well can receive diversity scholarships if they go to a HBCU. Now, if they choose to go to one, then they can receive a scholarship. So I don't even want to hear anybody white anymore complain to me or anybody else, oh, it's not fair that black people receive black scholarships. Well, you know what? Why don't you go to a black university and you too can receive a full ride scholarship, because diversity scholarships are even in existence. It's to increase diversity in the student population. As well as, I'm tired of hearing white people complain about the fact that, oh, black people have BET. Well, that's just not right, because it's black entertainment television, and, you know, you don't have a white ET, you don't have that going on. Okay, well, honey, let me just say that MTV is mostly white. Yes, rap is becoming more popular. Yes, MTV is playing more rap music. But, I mean, there are a lot of different hip-hop artists, of course, besides Lil Wayne and Jay-Z and T.I. and all the other popular names that most white people know about. And those people need recognition as well. And the whole reason why we have a BET and a Jet magazine and an Essence magazine and Ebony and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, is because it was hard enough for black people just to even get in to the white magazines, to even get in to white television. You know, What May Have You, Vogue, and like all these other Allure magazines is mostly caters to white people. If you look on the front cover, if you flip through the magazine, just count how many black people do you see in it. I'm not saying that there aren't any, but it's very limited. And that is the reason why we have our magazines. That is the reason why we have our own network. You know, I mean, it is what it is. And I'm just tired of white people walking around complaining, because black people have had to deal with a lot of shit. And yes, it's not as much shit that, you know, of course, that our relatives have had to deal with. No, but we still have to deal with stuff. And this whole thing with this white guy going in and going into the Holocaust Museum and shooting up is the prime example, because like I said before, had it been someone else, especially someone of Middle Eastern descent, then it would have been panic and pandemonium going through DC. It would have been more crucial. It happens all the time, and I really don't feel as if a lot of white people really see that when a white person does a crime, it almost gets a whole different news coverage than an African American person or a Middle Eastern person. It's different. And for those of y'all that are really truly not understand what I'm saying, just go on YouTube. Just even look at your local news. It's not right. And also what I'm getting irritated about is this whole birth certificate thing that's going on with Barack Obama. That apparently this Von Brun guy had something on his website about the fact that, Barack Obama hasn't produced a birth certificate. And then Rush Limbaugh yesterday on his show had the audacity to say that, oh, Barack Obama hasn't produced a birth certificate. Oh, he's not technically our president. You know what? Excuse my French, but I wish that a Republican would just stand up to Rush Limbaugh and tell him to shut the fuck up. Like, I really wish, because he really does need to shut the fuck up. Barack Obama is our president. And for those of y'all who don't like it, I'm sorry. I'm not saying that you have to like the fact that he's our president. I respect the fact that there are, different political parties. I respect the fact that there is diversity in our political system and that this country is a democracy and that we all have our own views. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the fact that maybe you don't like his economic plan. You don't like his stimulus plan. You don't like the way he's running the country. Everybody has a right to their opinion. So do not get me wrong, people. I don't, that's up to you. I have my opinion, you have yours. And that's the beautiful thing about America, is that we can all have our own opinions and, we can still be respected at the same time. But this whole right-wing extremist stuff that's going on is really making me sick. And it's really making me sick that there aren't more people standing up to people like Rush Limbaugh. And, people are scared of him or whatever it is, because I guess they're afraid that their character will get tarnished. But I think it's just so unfair. Like, many years back when the Dixie Chicks came out their concert and said something negatively about George Bush, everybody jumped on them and it almost ruined their whole career. But it's okay for people like Rush Limbaugh to say things about our president and nothing bad happens to him. As a matter of fact, he still makes millions. That man is making bank. And I just think it's not fair. And of course, life isn't fair. So this is just me bitching, so excuse my rant. But it isn't right. It isn't right that this stuff goes on and these issues continue to happen. And also, this is a little bit off subject, but I watched Chris Crocker, and I saw one of his videos about gay rights and about gay people having their rights, and it might have to take some of these people with their old idealistic way of thinking having to die off for gay people to have their rights. And I'm starting to agree with him that it is going to start taking some of these people to die off for us to, progress as a people. It really is, because you know what? Whether you like it or not, and this is for anybody that's racist or whatever, gay people will have their rights. Black people will have even more rights. So, for those of y'all that don't like the fact that Obama's president, okay, but get used to it. Give the man some time to grow and give the man some time to be president. Quit freaking being so freaking critical, because it's so freaking annoying. Black people have their time. White people have had their time for years, okay? And I'm over it right now. I'm tired of it. Let gay people have their rights. Let black people have their rights. Let freaking Barack Obama be president for a freaking, long period of time before people start bitching over stupid ass shit, because it doesn't make any sense.